Have you done the 2 Megapops achievement? Good. Have you done the no harvest achievement? Good. Now let's try getting both achievements done in a single run. As you saw, we're going to be doing this with the Sentry Champion today, a tower which has had a lot of features on the channel, but I just really love the Sentry Champion. I love all of the plasma firing sentries that he fires out from his little underlings. Start off with the Engineer and the Dark Monkey combo for this map because we need both of these towers to get through the early rounds here. Round 8 is usually a round that stops me in my tracks when it comes to these no harvest 2 Megapops attempts, but will this spot be even better actually because we've got more coverage of the track? And the answer is, yeah, that's brilliant actually. So now we've got the money to put a ninja up here. Usually I put the engineer up here, but because of the way the corn works, it means that part of our vision here is obscured. The ninja is placed here for two reasons, sorry. Number one, a little bit more popping, but number two, round 24 camo could be a bit of an issue unless we can put down our radar scanner, but I'd rather not put one of those down. And we have an issue here. Let's go strong with both our ninja and our engineer monkey here, so they're always trying to pop the blue balloons, whereas it leaves the dark monkey with any residue red balloons that try and seep their way through the battlefield. Thank you very much, and that has worked out extremely well. Now this is going to be our overclock engineer, and the one we're going to be placing up here is going to be our Sentry Champion engineer. Did you know that the Sentry Champion used to be called the Sentry Paragon before Paragons were introduced? Okay, so I should have done this beforehand because I want to put down Pat now, and Pat is going to give our sentries a little bit more beefiness to them when it comes to pops. Pat is a very slow attacker, but each of his slaps does quite a lot of damage. But because of Pat's relatively short range, it means we don't have to worry about him stealing too many pops. This is actually going to be the round where we're going to be placing down our soon-to-be Sentry Champion engineer. Now, don't worry about the fact that Pat's Roar cannot reach this engineer here, because the combination of the levels, meaning that at some point it's going to increase in range, and the fact we're going to have a monkey village nearby all of these towers means that, well, Pat's Rallying Roar will be able to reach over there. Just don't worry about it, okay? This Sentry Champion will receive the roar. Sentry Gun, then soon to be faster engineering, so we can get some little shooty turrets out here in order to provide us with the means of the addition of our, the majority of our firepower down. I cannot speak to save my life. Deconstruction, because at some point we're going to need that extra moral class and fortified damage. Probably not the wisest choice at this stage of the game, but we're doing it nonetheless. It's sprockets. Our sentry guns and our engineer shoots faster. Here we go. This is where the engineer excels on this round. Round 27 with the number of sentries you can place down. Surely this will not be an issue. Okay, so if the sentries are in range of a rallying roar, then they will get the roar. But if the engineer monkey gets roar, then every single one of the little sentries gets it as well. Excuse me, what are you doing towards the top right of the screen? I'm going to place you on first and put Pat on strong so he only targets the lead, and that was a much better time on this round. I want to place our village as south as possible, but at the same time so that we can actually deploy some sentries onto the left here. We're not going to deploy any towers over here because I want all of our sentries to deploy over here at some point in order for them to focus fire down this little alley down here, because that's where all the balloons are coming from. Also, we need radar scanner as soon as possible for that camo detection. You need that camo detection for round 33. I'm not too sure if the strongest stimulant buff also increases the sentry production from our sentry gun engineer here. I like to think that it does, because it does increase attack speed, so therefore it does increase the fire rate and stuff like that from our towers here. Ooh, this is going to be a hit or miss round here. I've got it. Roar there, Sentry Expert here, so therefore we can start deploying additional other kinds of sentries down. And yeah, that does it justice, just about. Next up, we're going to get our Alchemist in play here, and as long as you are here, you will not be able to buff any other tower aside the Sentry Expert. Jungle Drum increases the attack speed of all of our towers over here. Now the first Moab. Use that, increase the power of our sentries here. The Sentry Expert loves to deploy the energy sentries against the Moabs, and I think it's because the energy sentries provide additional damage against Moab class balloons, which is why these are always encouraged to be placed down. But they're good synergy with the cold sentry because energy can pop frozen balloons by default. Ooh, this sounds very interesting. Let's use the Roar again so that we have a little bit more power. Thank you very much. The synergy of all of the towers we're going to place down for our Sentry Champion. Almost called it Sentry Paragon there. The Sentry Champion. You know, Overclock, Homeland Defense, Rallying Roar, and some support here and there with, let's say, a Moab Glue and a Glue Strike. And for the Engineer specifically, the Stronger Stimulant. Use Rallying Roar for the ceramics, and I think this... well, the rest of this round should go without any mishaps whatsoever, although round 50 is going to be a bit of a tricky one because we do have multiple maps around. The only fortunate thing is that they are spaced out. Not as in mind spaced out, but they are just spaced out in general. And I meant mind as in like, what am I up to again? I'm kind of spaced out here, unfortunately. Pat Slap is also very nice because they can chuck back the blue Moabs, but they cannot chuck back like BFBs, ZMGs, DDTs. It would be stupidly strong if it can chuck back bads. It can squeeze, well, anything that's not bad, actually. Of the Moab class kind. Moab, gosh. Rallying Roar is kind of like a double-edged sword because we're increasing the power of our Engineer and the Sentries, but also increasing the power of both himself and other towers around it. Ooh, they're becoming very close. Very close towards the right-hand side of the map over here. Over here is like the point of no return. Unless you can snipe a few, dear Dark Monkey. Those 121 pops are our saviors. Sorry, 127. I'm sure the other 6 was not needed. Ooh, I have a little bit of a challenge here. So what can we do for this round? Besides panic. Yeah, we shouldn't have used Pat's Rallying Roar on the previous round because now we have ourselves a bit of a predicament here. Can we get some luck? What was so different about that attempt? Maybe things just reset. A Sentry Champion time! Place the Ninja here. Place the Glue Gunner here. And then place a Glue Gunner down here. Now, the only reason why I'm placing those 2 towers down there is because I want all of our sentries to spawn over here where there's a little gap. If there's nowhere for the Sentry Champion to, like, visibly put down a sentry, it just spawns them everywhere regardless if there's a tower there or not. So it will merge inside a tower, sorry. Let's see. Yeah, that's so good, actually. We do have purple, so that's kind of why we also rely on the Engineer as well as his little sentries, so that we can actually deal with the purple threat. We will soon have MIB to circumvent that issue, but I think we should get Overclock first before we get MIB, because the next purple issue is on round 75. Round 3 of the ceramics, and they're all dealt with. There was a little moment there where they may not have all be dealt with, but they are all dealt with. I may have done that too soon, actually. That's probably better off with the fortifieds, but I don't think there were any steals there. Steals as in pops from other towers. Yeah, this spot for the Overclock Engineer is even better than this spot because it has less visibility over here, so it has less chance of stealing pops from our 2 Megapops intended tower here. Overclock increases the attack speed of the Engineer Monkey here. That's good and all, but it also increases the production rate of the sentry guns that he deploys down. So we get many more champion sentries, if we deploy down Overclock. The only drawback is because of the fact that this is a tier 5 tower, it's not going to have a guaranteed amount of time that it's going to be deployed onto the Sentry Champion here. So kind of like, you have to kind of time when you're going to use it. Like at the beginning of the round, it's probably better like in the 80s and 90s, so that you have those additional sentries down, ready for when the Moab class balloons and balloons in general are able to come up here. Speaking of overclock, we now have it! I think the timing around this early of the game doesn't really matter. Let's just put it on and see where we go from here. As you can see, all of the sentries are just funneled into this spot because of where all the other towers are. Call to arms and homeland defense. Not only does it increase the production rate of the sentries, it also increases the attack speed of each sentry on the field. So you get both production rate increase of the sentries and the attack speed of each sentry has increased. Just absolutely staggering with what you can do with a production rate of a single tower. The majority of the pops come from the little sentries here. Although there is a bug in the game where if a tower that is firing as a balloon and that little sub tower is expired, but its projectiles are still popping balloons, those pops do not go towards the main tower. So therefore you've got to be a little bit careful. But the Balloons Tower Defense 6 Index knows that stolen pops are still kind of counted because it's unfair to try and justify the means of trying to work with parameters of saying, hey, that's not 2 Megapops because it doesn't say 2 Megapops. Even though there's 15,000 pops stolen, it's not a true 2 Megapops, even though you won't actually get the achievement. But in the heart and eyes of the community, it still counts with the amount of pops stolen. The same with Etienne as well, with their drones and their UCAV that goes around the field. Whoa, get those ceramics! Oh, that last one where there's a little bit too close. Let's go with MIB because we do have purples on this round. Yeah, we'll go strongest stimulant. Increase the production speed of the engineer sentries coming out. I'm still not too sure if the actual strongest stimulant does increase the attack speed, or sorry, the production rate of the sentries. I like to think that it does because it can do that with, well, the attack speed. Can it do the production rate too? I'm hoping it does. I like to think it does. I'm going to say that it does, okay? Why middle path Sentry Champion? Bonus damage against 4 to 5 balloons and Moab balloons as well. We get that extra damage in. I think the only upside towards going bottom path is that you do get more pierce from the sentry explosions, but also the attack pierce of the sentries themselves also go up too. But I'd rather have that bonus damage than the bonus pierce. Target that COMG! And it goes down like that. Well, you did have one slap in there, which was annoying, but not too bad whatsoever. If we didn't go with strongest stimulant, we could have afforded call to arms, but we'll be able to do so this round. There we go. Now we can afford it. Let's see, 4,000, 5,000, 7,000. Meh. But the bonus to this particular 2 Megapops achieving tower is that it is really self-sufficient when it comes to its ability to pop in the bag. We don't need something like a Spike Storm or a Moab Elim or anything along those lines to help us out. This is an incredibly self-sufficient tower when it comes to popping the bag, as long as you have the abilities active. Speaking of abilities, call to arms! Poor timing because of these, but not poor time when it comes to the production rate of the sentries. 2 ZMGs, but not to worry, we will have our arsenal ready for whenever you come about. I'm not gonna lie, I think the 4 ZMGs around 87 is going to be easier because they're all clumped up together. Because these are quite staggered out, you do have to wait with your attacks here until that ZMG comes about, but when they're more clumped together, it's the case of, well, it's going to be able to continuously attack them. Let's see, fortified BFBs, come on now. Get on popping, please, for the glory of the Sentry Gods. No, Not you. You're not allowed. 4 ZMGs. Overclock. Call to arms. We've got the whole shebang on the field. Maybe I should have done call to arms sooner, actually. Yeah, because Pat's got some pops in there. But nonetheless, we are still on the right track to success. Adding raw these BFBs, but then call to arms these ZOMGs. I don't trust these turtles. I don't trust them at all. At all. They still got some pops, but still nothing to be worried about here. Take out the fortified Mervs there, and then the fortified BFBs here. Aren't you just the most fascinating of creatures? Go down like that. DDTs are not going to be an issue whatsoever. And that's just really stupid to say. But I'm serious when DDTs are not an issue here. We have enough power put down in order to deal with these. Rallying Roar and Call to Arms to deal with this massive amount. Also, I've just remembered actually, Call to Arms also increases the pierce of the effective balloons on the screen. So another little added bonus there, aside attack speed as well. Almost there when it comes to the glorious Homeland Defense, which is the same as Call to Arms, but even better. And it lasts for longer as well, so there's a nice added bonus. Can you hear all of the explosions? That's what we call satisfaction. Sweet satisfaction. Pat's Rallying Royal Call to Arms has exactly the same ability cooldown time. Got that up. Maybe I should have used it. Oh, perhaps I should have... You know what? I'm going to restart this round. Also, when you restart the game, your abilities can switch orders depending on when you spawn that tower down. Rallying Roar, BFBs, and then Call to Arms, the ZOMGs here. Although, I could... Let me be a bit more patient there. I might delay just a little bit, so we affect more of them. Okay, now Homeland Defense is purchased. Now let's activate it against the ZOMGs. Oh, that's just a stream of purpley light. I love it. Moab Glue, bigger blob, won't be effective against the DDTs because of the fact that they have the camo status on them. Relentless Glue? Not at this point in time. We don't need that stun for the moment. Blue Strike? Not at the moment again. So many choices. Actually, we'll go Blue Strike. You may never know when we need it. For that little bit extra damage. Definitely need it for around 100. Well, don't need it, but it's going to be a nice added bonus. Again, it's like a double-edged sword. It benefits your 2 Megapops in the tower, but it also benefits those around it. Everything on the screen, actually. Oh, there we go. We're going to get Relentless Glue to stick first, because what can happen is that if you glue strike these first, the Relentless Glue is just going to keep trying to stick onto these when they're unstickable by another kind of glue gunner. We're just going to wipe this round out. Just look at that. The entire round was sorted out by them. I love it. Round 98, the most difficult of rounds in the entire game, with the most amount of RBE. Actually, in some cases, round 97 can be harder because of the sheer amount of RBE per thing. But when it comes down to round 98, most scenarios, it's always the worst scenario ever. Let's see, glue. Can we get 2 balloon sabos on the field? Oh, we've got a different issue here going. Actually, we've got a different issue going on here. Can we get a Sabo up in time? That's going to be a question and a half. Maybe I mistimed my abilities there. Oh, dearie me, Sabo, I need you. Let's just activate these, actually. What? Again, why was that time different? What did I do differently there? I don't remember doing anything different. That's your fight. Okay, I'll leave it to you then. Okay, you can reach out, which is not surprising. Although you do more damage because of the glue strike. Right. Let's just unleash this now. Every single thing active and just watch the damage roll. You have no chance against me, buddy. No chance. No chance. Absolutely no chance. And there we go, folks. With 42,000 pops stolen. So this would have been 2,029,000 pops in general. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you ever so much for being here today with me to experience this wonder here. Yeah, leaving this little gap here is so ideal, so that all of the sentries can funnel down here and do focused firing down here. You don't want it scattered all over the place by placing down another tower over here, then it will just displace itself everywhere here. You don't want that. You want it to be in one place here, and its focused fire is down here. This obviously did its job for slowing down the mobs on the last few rounds there. This obviously ensured we did extra damage. Sabos, not needed, but nice. Hat was very much a necessity for this run to boost the power of both the engineer and the little sentries themselves. Overclock definitely needed to increase the production rate. Alchemist was less needed, but I still feel like his presence was important here. You definitely can't reach the Sabo here. This is a very ideal spot to put your Alchemist and then put your 2 Megapops intended tower over here, because this, in general, can only reach the bad. So it's not bad of a spot. But thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Can you do this challenge for yourselves? Well, there's the code for you to try it out. I've already given you the thumbs up when it comes to the setup. Just do it yourself. I demand you. Not really, actually. It's there if you want to do it. Thank you all so much for watching. Lecher's gone. Lecher's gone, for goodness sakes. He could not handle the power of the Sentry Champion. No harvest on the Cornfield. Let me know what other towers you'd like to see me try and do this really niche, weird, unique, hard challenge, actually. The most difficult part when it comes to any kind of advanced or expert is it's the early game, really, but I feel like on any scenario, especially like bloody puddles, and I still think Workshop is incredibly hard, even though people say it's easy because there's only one exit. It's still hard in its own way. With the motors not on, it has a shorter RBS than Blonze has. And you know what Blonze is like. Dark Castle is definitely advanced, honestly. Thank you all so much for watching. If you'd like to be able to support a creator in their creation endeavors, then please be sure to go to the shop, put my creator support code in, and then when you give it a little tick, any purchases that you make will help me tremendously. And also as well the Ninja Kiwi dev team as well, which is mutually beneficial. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Take care of yourselves and have a wonderful Sentry Championistic day. Whatever that means.